All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where Errol Spence Jr. delivers a message to boxing fans, and also some very funny things are taking place in the WBO rankings. The most recent update to their rankings that point to, man, maybe we, dare I say it, could be getting the fight that we want. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about some things that were said by Errol Spence Jr. yesterday on Twitter, and also a couple things that took place in the rankings of the major sanctioning bodies that have people, reasonable boxing fans, scratching their head and getting their hopes up for the right thing taking place in boxing, which is an Errol Spence Jr. Terence Crawford fight. I will break down the information and leave it up to you to decide what you think. But before I do that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also, if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support of the channel by hitting the like buttons, by sharing the videos. And also thank you to everybody that supports the channel, and a super thanks. Shout out to my guy, Matty Yole and John Bowie, who sponsored a video yesterday by doing so. So thank you guys very much. But let's get into this. And, you know, hey, man, what can I say, dude? I am a hopeless optimist. However, not all the time. But there were some things that were said yesterday. They got some people on Twitter feeling good, feeling like, hey, man, maybe there's a chance we can get this done. And it is two things. First, Errol Spence Jr. responded to a comment on his Twitter, which said, when are you going to announce your next fight, or announce your next fight? Said that to Errol Spence, and Errol Spence Jr.'s response was no, with about, I don't know, 30 exclamation marks. No, he's not going to announce his next fight. And then he came back, though, and left another message which said, look, I don't apologize. I don't apologize for my inactivity. Hopefully in a couple weeks, it'll all make sense. Something to that effect, right? Now, that in and of itself really doesn't tell you anything other than, you know, he's got something going on, and in a couple weeks, it'll make sense with that. I hope. I mean, the only thing I could think is it's going to be an announcement with whoever he's fighting, right? If you recall, Showtime said that they were trying to get Errol, that they were going to be announcing an Errol Spence Jr. fight, a Keith Thurman fight, Jamal Charlo fight, Deontay Wilder fight, right? So all of those fights are still up in the air, according to Showtime. However, I do believe that they're all going to be on Showtime. Now, but they never said exactly who was going to fight. Now, of course, we know that Errol Spence Jr. was supposed to be fighting, or was ordered to fight, Keith Thurman. And here is the part in this where the rankings get real funny. Errol Spence Jr. was supposed to fight Keith Thurman. He was ordered by the WBC. There has not been a purse bid for that fight. But the WBC ordered an interim title fight to take place between Yordenis Ugas and Mario Barrios. Now, that means that whoever wins that fight, that interim title, if Errol Spence Jr. drops that belt, that means that they become the champion. But so the WBC is clearly working on something in case Errol Spence Jr. does not fight at that weight class again. But the interesting thing that took place in the rankings was the WBO, where Speedy Rashidi Ellis, who just lost to Roman Villa on the undercard of the Gervonta Davis-Hector Garcia fight this January, who before that had one win, and I believe he had a long layoff, was strangely elevated up 4 spots to the number 3 place in the WBO, right behind Cody Crowley and behind the number one contender, Alexis Rocha, who was ordered to fight Terence Crawford. Now, if you keep track of the date, the time for Golden Boy and Terence Crawford to come to a conclusion or come to an agreement for a fight between Crawford and Rocha has run out. But yet there's no announcement by the WBO about what is going to take place as of the time of this video. May come out today. They may put it out, but, you just don't know, right? So, but that said, the suggestion that people are making is that Alexis Rocha may be ordered to fight Speedy Rashidi Ellis 2 as an interim shot, as an interim title for the WBO. Now, shout out to L Dub. It's a video on YouTube, video channel on YouTube, and a very prominent promoter responded to that. By a guy by the name of Ludabella Entertainment, said, look, man, that's, it's not just an interesting situation. That's just how boxing, basically alluding to that's how boxing is, and then putting in a plug for a book from a matchmaker called Only Thing Square Was the Ring, right? Which, if you guys understand what being, a square shot is, it means fair. The only square thing was the ring, right? So there's nothing fair in boxing, and they do all kind of crazy stuff. So I would not be surprised if these guys are still trying to cook this Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. thing and trying to line up all kind of different scenarios for the belts and the fighters that have had, pretty much have had their careers put on hold as far as being able to fight for belts for going on 9 months now, right? 3 months from now, it'll be in June, it'll be a year. Right, since with everybody except for David Avanesian having a shot at Terence Crawford. But at the end of the day, man, look, dude, I'm in a big. My opinion is this: I know Errol Spence Jr. is obviously a very, very stubborn guy, and he has his eyes set on the undisputed championship at 147 pounds. He's also said that he would never fight Keith Thurman. So we know that he does not want that Keith Thurman fight. Terence Crawford, we know we'll negotiate with him. We'll talk with him. I just don't know if he's ever going to actually do it, man. So fortunately, do the fortunate and the unfortunate. Fortunately, we got somebody, at least in my opinion, we got somebody like Errol Spence Jr. who's going to break his back to try to get that fight done with Terence Crawford. Unfortunately, it shouldn't take all this to get it done. Unfortunately, it should not take all that to get the fight done. It should be something that Terence Crawford gets a reasonable offer from. They sit down and they get the fight done. Terence Crawford's not signed to anybody else, so you don't have a Bob Arum issue. You don't have any of that. So all of this conversation, all of the time it takes to get this stuff done, to me, is just like, okay, man. But now Errol Spence Jr. on his part, and I do agree with him on this, does not have to apologize for his inactivity. I mean, the guy always gives good fights when it is that he fights. It's just, as a boxing fan, it's kind of like, look, man, come on, man. You're one of the best fighters in the world. Would really love to see you fight. But it is what it is, man. He's got to make his own choices, as his career and all that, just like it's Terence Crawford's career and all of that. I just hope that if this is what Errol Spence Jr. means by that, if it is, that it really can pan out with Terence Crawford cooperating, and it doesn't wind up just being another time where it's like, okay, it's another year out of the ring. Now, Errol on his part can probably think and say, hey, man, well, I'm making $8, $10, $12 million every time I get in the ring. So I can wait a little longer, let my body heal and all of that stuff. That's his prerogative. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.